The political problem on the Republican side of the aisle is how to get our base to vote in off-cycle elections. We've seen the establishment accept Donald Trump's leadership of the Republican Party. Now it's time to try to actually learn from his political success.
That is our Vice President, J.D. Vance, a guy that I consider to be a friend, admitting that Republicans have no idea how to win without Trump on the ballot. And folks, the 2026 midterms are only 9 months away. And while it might be a little bit of a dated tweet, it shows just how keenly intelligent JD is on politics and how he relates to the everyday American. On 2025, Democrats swept governor races in New Jersey and Virginia. They won down ballot across the country. They flipped state legislature seats in Iowa and Pennsylvania, and the Republican National Committee did nothing but put out a statement saying, everything's fine. But behind closed doors, I think they're panicking because they're starting to figure out that their entire coalition only shows up when one person's name is on the ballot, and that person, unfortunately, can never run again. Now, the numbers that they're not telling us about, that they're scared of, is that Democrats didn't just win in 25. They crushed it. Every special election, every off-year race, Democrats beat their 24 performance by an average of 13 points. The New Jersey governor race called before polls even closed. Virginia, blowout. Even in deep red districts, like in Texas, Republicans underperformed by double digits. What was the RNC's response? Everything is great. Trump's agenda is working.
All pens are united behind his America First agenda.
America first. But what they're not telling us, and what they know, is that turnout collapsed. The working class voters, the first-time Trump voters, the MAGA voters, the people who gave this party the White House in 2024, stayed home. And they knew that this was coming. Now, it gets interesting because J.D. Vance says the quiet part out loud. How to get our base to vote in off-cycle elections. He's telling us the Republican Party has no clue how to turn out their own voters when Trump's not on the ballot. It's not speculation, folks. We've seen it. This is the second highest elected Republican in America telling us that they have no plan. Charlie Kirk's pointed it out. He pointed it out for years. He was blunt, though. He said that it continued to be a problem. And we know that they've known about it for years, and they've done nothing. We said they were going to match the Democratic machine. What did they do? Well, they attended Trump rallies. And while they did that, Democrats built an actual turnout operation. And we have no answer for it. I mean, we have Scott Pressler volunteering on his own time, paying for it out of his own pocket. But he can only do so much. And if you look at this, folks, there's a pattern. It started in 2018, Trump's first midterm election, when Republicans lost the House, when Paul Ryan collapsed, folded, retired, and Nancy Pelosi became Speaker of the House. That unleashed a series of events that lasted for about 6 years. And in 25, Trump wasn't on the ballot, and Republicans got destroyed. Folks, think about what's going to happen in November of 26 if Trump can't run in every House seat and a third of Senate seats are up for grabs. This is betrayal. Okay, the Republican establishment knew this was coming. They've had 4 years between 20 and 24 to build an infrastructure, create a ground game to figure out how to keep MAGA voters engaged between Trump elections. Hell, not even MAGA voters, okay? Working class voters. And they did nothing about it.
When it comes down to turning out Republicans, it takes money, it takes a message, and it takes an exciting candidate.
Money, message, candidate. That's what we need. Democrats have all three in off years. Republicans, we have one guy, and he's term limited. You know what the establishment did instead of building this infrastructure? Well, they spent $168 billion on border security with no oversight. They passed tax cuts for corporations. They focused on their donors, their consultants, the same insiders who always get paid while we always get played. Because the truth is, they don't want us to know. They don't want to do anything because they don't need us between elections. They only need us in November of 24 to give them power. Then they need us again in 26. Hopefully win it again. Then they need us to go away until November of 28. In between, they'll do what they've always done. Govern for the establishment. Cut deals in D.C. And when the next election rolls around and Democrats take back Congress, they'll blame Trump. They'll blame the shutdown. They'll blame the border. They'll blame DHS. They'll blame ICE. They'll blame everything under the sun except their own failure to build a movement that lasts beyond Donald Trump. One that we've given them. So what does this mean, folks, for us? For J.D. Vance? I mean, he should be the next president. Well, if Democrats take the House in 26, and it looks like they're going to, as it stands right now, the America First agenda that Trump is leading dies. No more border bills, no more tax cuts. Just 2 years of investigations, impeachment, gridlock. Everything we voted for gets frozen, probably destroyed. But the establishment will be fine with that because gridlock for them is profitable. Consultants will still get paid. Their lobbyists will still have access. The only people that lose are us and Donald Trump and potentially J.D. Vance. Now here's the bottom line. The Republican Party took our vote in 24 and then went back to business as usual. They didn't build the infrastructure to keep us engaged. They didn't create a reason for us to show up to vote in 25 or 26. They just assumed we'd keep voting Republican out of fear or habit. Meanwhile, well, the folks like us who flipped to Trump because he promised to fight for us are watching the establishment do exactly what they've always done. Take us for granted. And when those voters stay home in 9 months, the Republican Party will act surprised and blame messaging or candidate quality or whatever excuse fits best in the ears of their donors. But JD said it, and he said it right. They've known. They don't care enough to fix it. They're happy when someone like Trump wins and they can party like rock stars, acting like they fucking did something when they didn't do a dime. The 2026 midterms are going to be a bloodbath for Republicans. Not because Trump's agenda failed, not because voters rejected conservative policies. It'll be because the establishment lied. They never built a movement that we could stand on. They just rented President Trump's. And guess what, folks? The bill's coming due. 9 months and counting.